Board members, welcome back. The boardroom's open once again, and as you can see, we're continuing our faction-focused series of heroes of land, air, and sea. This is Orcs faction focus. We've run through humans, we've run through the elves, and we've talked about the stout hardiness of the dwarves, and now it's everybody's enemy they love to hate, the orcs. I figured we'd pit the orcs up against the dwarves. There really is, orcs hate dwarves, orcs hate humans, orcs hate elves. There's really one more than the other, so figure why not just run them with the dwarves. So let's take a look at what you get when you build yourself some orcs. Here with a level 1 building, and if you build the barracks, that's the first one on the list here, the barracks say your warriors may march +1 to start a battle. Now normally your warriors only march 3, so let's see, what's a good example here? Well, here's a good example. Well, I guess it's a bad example because you can go 1, 2, 3. But the point is they get 1 more. So I don't know how far, maybe, look, here's the point. If they're going, they can't go 4 to not start a fight. If they're going to go start a fight, they get to march 1 space further. I guess maybe you're traveling along lines that you can't see on my screen. Okay, maybe you're traveling along these lines to go to the top side, or you're going across continents. So for example, you want to travel to go fight the dwarves here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that because you get +1 march to go start a fight. They love to start a fight. They love a good fight. They love a bad fight. They just love a fight. At level 2, all your warriors are just flat out +1 strength. They just get stronger with a level 2 capital building. At level 3, if a warrior wins in a battle, you may instantly change it into an available hero. I love this ability so much. It reminds me a bit about the dwarves, where if they win a fight against a tower, you get a free tower. You can check that video up in the link above. This one is when, because it's inevitable, when this orc warrior defeats this little serf, he's going to do it, he just turns into any available hero. Now, your barracks, if it's built, allows you to summon a chieftain. So you could just say, well, thanks so much for that fight. You are no longer a warrior. You are now for free my chieftain. You don't have to pay to upgrade him or to recruit him. There, he becomes the chieftain through those battle-hardened experiences of his. All right, so since the chieftain is on the board, no better time than to talk about Korgak, the orc chieftain. Korgak, like his ancestors before him, walks with the strength of a titan. He carries a battering ram forged from a tree stump he tore from the earth to beat his first noble to death. His climb to leadership may have cost him 1 good eye, but the other can still see clearly the target, the castle walls of his enemies. So that is Korgak. At level 1, this Korgak here gets +1 strength if against an army containing at least 1 serf. Wow, he really likes to beat on the little guys, huh? That's a bummer for the little guy. Ha! Not for the orcs. He also gains an additional +1 against towers or capital cities. So he likes to smash walls and smash serfs. His level 3 ability, you gain an additional victory point when the chieftain attacks a tower or capital city. So it really behooves you to use this chieftain in any army that you decide to attack a tower or a capital city. Maybe over here he wants to go after the dwarven citadel, break down the walls all by his little lonesome, whatever. He gets stronger to do just that. That's the orc chieftain Korgak. Okay, so now this is a very interesting building for the orcs. It's called the Blood Tent. The Blood Tent at level 1, so let's take this back down here. I'll keep moving these back and forth, but at level 1, just to showcase here, level 1 Citadel, before tactic cards are revealed, you may pay 2 mana to change 1 serf in the battle into 1 warrior. So you're kind of like seeing the outcome of the battle, or maybe you do something you didn't see earlier, and you can pay 2 mana to swap out this serf got into a fight here. The dwarf decided to attack, and I say, okay, before tactic cards are revealed, I'm going to pay 2 mana, and it says I can change 1 serf into the battle into a warrior. So I don't actually swap them. I take a warrior, and boom, he's no longer a serf, he's now a warrior. So now it's, quote, an even fight, and then we reveal tactic cards. At level 2, this Blood Tent allows, in a battle, serfs in your army serfs in your enemy's army grant you +1 strength to a maximum of +5. So if you go fighting against serfs, you also gain +1 strength. Serfs in your, yeah, as long as you're fighting against serfs, that is. So if you fight serfs with your chieftain, that's going to be, it should be cumulative too, right? +1 strength if the army contains at least one serf. Yeah. So he would get kind of a double bonus in that regard. At level 3, the Blood Tent states that each continent at the end of the game is worth 1 point if you have at least 1 unit on it. Now, this is kind of interesting because in a 2-player game, you only have these 4 continents available. These 2 are not open to play in a 4-player game. In a 2-player game. I don't even know if they're open in a 3-player game. I'd have to kind of really dig into the meat of the rules. I've played a lot 2 players. However, if you have an orc on each continent in which you have an orc is worth 1 more victory point at the end of the game. All right, now we come to doing something that orcs love to do most, and that's fight. The third building is called the Pit Arena. Now, the Pit Arena at level 1, it states that every 2 serfs are worth +1 strength when attacking. So if we can get 2 shovelers here to go up against this poor warrior here, they're going to out-strength him. They have 1 strength each, so they are 3 strength to his 2 because they get an additional 1 because each pair of serfs are worth +1 attack or +1 strength while attacking. So this does not count for when they're defending. At level 2, if you win a battle with at least 1 serf in your army, immediately gain 1 ore and 1 mana. So they're the spoils of war, if you will. They bring home some resources for the good of the tribe. At level 3, a lone serf is worth +2 strength when defending. So let's add this up. In a pit, if it's a lone, with the pit, level 3, if a lone serf is defending his little field here, and this dwarf comes attacking, he's going to be 3 attack. But if I have a level 2 blood tent, if I have a level 2 blood tent, then in a battle, serfs in my enemy's army. I almost misstated that. Okay, so let's redo this, but with a serf. So if that serf comes to attack my serf, that's how this works. I'm glad I'm kind of talking this out now. Hey, Rex, thanks for joining the live stream. I do appreciate it. I was just working out this last ability here. A lone serf is worth +2 strength when defending. So if this serf decides to march on the orc serf would be valued 3, but then in a battle, serfs in your enemy's army grant you additional 1. He'd be 4 if I had a blood tent and a pit arena. So the blood tent and the pit arena work really well in synergy with serfs. So something to consider. If you did also have your barracks in play and that and a warrior was fighting, then of course we already know he upgrades into a hero. So that could be very, very overpowered. All right, so let's talk about the ships, both sea ships and airships. First is the sea dock. The sea dock at level 1, when the war croc ends a sail action in a shore region, it may move 1 land region if it results in a battle. After the battle, it must return to the shore region it came from. First off, let's talk about how cool and thematic the orc ship is. It's a war croc. So they actually hop on the back of a big crocodile and go to war. Now what it's saying is when it ends a sail action on a shore region, it can move inward 1 land region. So we're talking here, for example, maybe. So if he comes on the shore, I think we're actually talking here. So he comes to the shore just like this. He gets an additional move to come to land to fight this poor sap. And then after the battle, it returns to the shore where it came from. Back you go. So that's kind of interesting. It allows them to actually breach and land on land. Level 2, when using the Croc's level 1 ability to battle, gain 2 Reeses of your choice before tactic cards are revealed. So when it crashes the shore and comes onto the land and starts to fight, hey, TinyFire5, thanks so much for following. I do appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Have you played Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea? I'm going through all the factions of this crazy game, and right now I'm on faction number 4 for the orcs. So when you've used your level 1 ability to crash the shore and you come up and fight on land, you're allowed to gain 2 resources of your choice before tactic cards are revealed. So if you know you have something in your hand that you can't afford to play yet, make sure you grab those resources to play it and really take advantage, and then the crocodile just goes back into the water from where it came. Then when your tower is up at level 3, the war croc gets +2 strength when attacking in a land region. So you combine all of those abilities and make that war croc, let's see, strength 3, 4, 5. The croc itself would be strength 5 in a land region, plus generating you 2 resources of your choice so you can play those ever important tactic cards. So that is the Sea Dock. Now let's talk about the Air Spire. The Air Spire lets you summon a dragon. This here would be the dragon you get to summon. So put them there, focus nice and center. The orcs ride the back of a dragon. I think it would be more of a wyvern than a dragon, but I digress. They call it a dragon. When attacking with the dragon, eat 1 enemy serf before tactic cards are revealed. So let's get some serfs going here. All right. So if he decides to march to here and we're going to start a fight, the dragon just eats the serf before the fight begins, or before the tactic cards are revealed, I should say. Now we assess whose strength is what and then go into the fight. So the dragons are going to just eat the guy and take the attack there. 4 legs plus wings equals a dragon. Is that kind of like standard, Rex? 4 legs and wings equals a dragon. I'm trying to think. Could I argue griffin? Could I argue a hippogriff in that? All right. Level 2. And that Air Spire, so that was level 1. So when it's at level 2, the Air Spire lets the dragon, when it wins a battle, gain 1 food for each enemy it destroyed. So in this case, it destroyed this poor serf here. And if it wins this fight, it's two enemies it destroyed, so that'd be 2 food it's bringing home. And then level 3, if the dragon eats, it gets +3 strength, which would make it a 5 strength dragon, not including the strength of the warriors on its back. So make sure when you're going to go to fight with the dragon, you go to a region that contains some serfs so the dragon can eat, make more food, make more strength, lower the strength of the enemy units, and then raise its own strength from eating the serf. Drake, yeah, it could be a drake. 4 legs and wings. Wyvern has 2 legs plus wings, but also called as dragons. Okay, I can see all that. Yeah, it is a funny looking dragon. But it's made out of cardboard. I just love the fact that it hovers literally above the board when it does airstrikes. So hey, that's the Orc Faction for Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Thanks so much for attending the live stream. I do appreciate it. I'm going to continue on with more of these faction-focused videos. If you're catching the YouTube replay on this, I do appreciate that as well. Please consider giving it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel. It really does help me out. And check out more of my faction-focused videos. And as always, I'll see you at the next Boardroom meeting.